Welcome to part 3 of Focus on the Face-to-Face Relationship Model of Selling. Today's topic is making a presentation. Over the next several minutes, we'll take a closer look at building units of conviction as I continue my call with Michael Dubois. On your screen, you see the objectives and criteria for measuring effectiveness when making the presentation. These objectives direct you towards what you want to accomplish in this phase of the call. The measuring criteria provide a checklist for gauging your effectiveness in reaching your objectives. Remember, I want to build strong units of conviction as I conduct my presentation. But in order to do that effectively, I need to build rapport and credibility, ask the right questions, and listen effectively in the previous phases of my call. Now, here are a few rules to follow in preparing any support tools for a presentation. Make sure everything is in working order. Make sure the environment is conducive to conducting an effective presentation. You want the prospect's full attention. Poor lighting or distractions, such as loud noises or traffic, can interfere with the positive impact you want to have. For my call, I've brought along several testimonials, neatly packaged and easy to read, people the prospect will likely know of. I have a flip chart that will keep us on track during the presentation. It essentially functions as a visual outline. My flip chart is built around the benefits that I have to offer. And because it lets me know where I am in the presentation, I can engage in conversation with him and stay on track. I can concentrate on listening to him because it fosters two-way communication. It's also designed to keep me moving forward to the close. It helps me tell the whole story and provide the bigger picture in a timely manner. Now, it's important to keep your prospect engaged during your presentation. It's not a rambling speech. It's a give-and-take relationship of discovery. Now, I took a number of notes during the meets discovery phase of my call. I took these notes because I know my business, but I need to know how to specifically help my prospect do a better job at running his. But these notes I took were not only for the point of jotting down information. In fact, most of these notes were actually being taken to help me build units of conviction for my outline presentation. Now remember that before I can expect a signed order form, I have to figure out how to improve my customer's business. Then I have to devise a way to persuade them that the solution I have to offer is the best way to go. I do this by preparing units of conviction. I'll begin my presentation by following the tell them 3 times rule. 1, I'll tell my prospect what I'm going to share. 2, I'll tell them during the presentation. And 3, at the conclusion of my presentation, I'll tell them what I just shared. Here we go. Okay, so Michael, what I'd like to do now is present an overview to you based on what you've told me that will significantly reduce the headaches associated with ordering and bid processes and tracking your orders during the week. Now, you told me that the bid process is often a big headache for you, right?
Yes, especially just setting the whole process in motion. It can be a huge challenge.
Well, what do you feel represents the 3 biggest challenges in setting that process in motion?
Well, the toughest thing is I don't have time to compare bids in detail. I mean, most of the times I go with the best price, but if I had time to look closer, I may see that the package size is different. Coffee products present a challenge because the market is so volatile and competitive. I'd like to be able to investigate new providers so I can work on creating new blends, but I tend to skim the bid sheets and go with the lowest price.
So comparing bids is a challenge. What else?
Well, researching new vendors is also a pain because, again, I don't always have time to call around for word-of-mouth recommendations. Plus, there's no time to research except what little I can do online. But again, I still want to verify that by calling the people I know.
All right, so researching vendors is another challenge. What would be the 3rd?
Something I like to do when I can is visit my vendors. Again, it's a logistics issue. Not just time, though. Distance can be a factor also.
Okay, so 3rd is visiting vendors. You know, it actually sounds like that all of the 3 of your biggest challenges are really centered around one challenge.
What do you mean?
Well, they're all centered around not having enough time. So how would it make you feel if you had one resource that you could turn to for comparing your bids and product and volume quality and researching vendors and conducting on-site visits prior to selecting a vendor?
I guess I would be skeptical, but happy if this could actually happen.
Well, at Catering Effect, we offer a one-stop simplified bid process.
What does that mean? How does it work?
Well, Michael, what this means is that for bids for all of your product and equipment are obtained by us, thoroughly compared, negotiated, and verified. and we even conduct visits to vendors prior to accepting them as a vendor. Now let me go ahead, and what you have here is a report on the number of site inspections that we've conducted in the last 3 months on potential vendors. Now as you can see, not every vendor makes the cut.
It looks like you've covered quite a few. I see that you look for things like safety issues and any discriminatory practices. Those are definitely important and something I wouldn't necessarily think of when talking to a supplier. You consider liability and legal issues too, and financial. I guess that's because you want to make sure the company is going to stick around. This is impressive, Jennifer. That's a pretty comprehensive list there. Now, what are these numbers here, like the 22 next to quality?
Well, that number reflects the percentage of vendors that were rejected because of a specific issue or item in the criteria.
It looks like quality is the biggest reason a vendor is rejected. That's good to know that you do such a thorough investigation. I never have time for that.
So you feel that these inspections are something that has value?
Like I said, you cover issues that I hadn't even thought of, but I can see how important they would be in selecting quality vendors. I wish I had somebody here that I could trust to check out all my vendors for all these things.
Now, Michael, here is a report on 5 businesses here in this part of the city that are currently using us. And the numbers next to their name reflect the satisfaction level that they received in using our services. And actually, I have a hard copy of these reports that I'll leave behind with you. And for these reports, I even have email addresses and phone numbers that I'll leave behind with you as well in case you wanted to contact any of them.
Well, I know Darren Barner. He's the coach for one of the baseball teams I sponsor. Plus, I worked with him my last job at the university. He's a very direct, no-nonsense type of individual. And we're friends, so I trust his judgment.
So from what you've told me today, Michael, the time that you would save by having a one-stop simplified bid process from a company that you can trust is something that would clearly bring value to your company. Would you agree?
Of course. I especially like the fact that vendors are screened so well.
Now, what we have also is, in addition to a one-stop process, we obtain the lowest price for the best quality. Now, how would you define quality in selecting a vendor?
Well, that varies according to the item. Okay, for example, I prefer organic produce. Now, I know that usually costs more, but depending on the item, it's worth it. Better taste, more appealing appearance and presentation. Then, how the product is handled or transported affects quality. And delivery of service affects that too, I think.
Well, you'll be happy to know that we are on the same page. Service and handling are key components of quality. So when we say that we obtain the lowest price for the best quality, what this means is that the products and equipment that you get from us have been gone through a careful screening process by Catering Effects to ensure that you get the best for less.
Like with the on-site visits.
Exactly. In fact, statistics show that product quality has a direct impact on the success of a business. Just because something is cheaper does not mean that it's a poor quality, nor does it mean that it's better. But if you serve a poor quality product because a vendor did not deliver as promised, who suffers?
My customers. And ultimately, my business.
So would you agree that obtaining the lowest price for the best quality is something that you could clearly benefit from?
Well, I can see that the benefits for my customers, and it will obviously help my business as well.
Exactly. Well, imagine that there are no more headaches with the bid process. You're assured you get the best quality for the best price. And we also offer an optimum delivery schedule. If you could arrange the ideal delivery schedule for you, how would that look?
Ideally, all of my vendors would get here before 8 a.m. And I'd like to be able to spread my deliveries out more. A few vendors only deliver on Monday and Wednesday, and that ties up things as far as getting staff to put stock away and check things in. And like we discussed before, it backs up traffic. Trucks end up parking in the street and unloading right there. That can be frustrating and also pretty dangerous, I think.
So from what you're saying, it's my understanding that more flexibility and shifting deliveries to less hectic days are actually pretty critical. Is that a fair statement?
Well, yes. It'd be a great relief. Many days, it's like being under a series of surprise attacks. I hate getting hit hard by incoming vendors.
Well, our optimum delivery schedule can provide that and much more. Think about this. Instead of all 13 vendors showing up on every single day of the week, you have one service that delivers on behalf of all of your vendors. We secure products from your current vendors, and we arrange delivery however you wish. And what this means to you is less delivery traffic and earlier delivery times on any day of the week. This also helps you work more efficiently with dealing with your employees and putting away stock and that sort of thing. Now, earlier we had talked about Tom at the Bistro, and I actually have a testimonial letter from Tom stating what he appreciates the most about Catering Effects.
Wow. He has specifically assigned a team of 2 people whose sole job is receiving delivery from Catering Effects on Tuesday and Thursday. They work that early morning shift, and they have stock put away by 8 a.m. It's cut back on his deliveries and has reduced traffic concerns. He's not pulling staff as vendors come at all hours of the day. I have to call him.
So I think you'll agree with me, Michael, that this is a much better way to handle deliveries than your current process, right?
Now, that's an understatement. This would be great because, like I said, I can lose focus because deliveries pull me and my people away from serving our customers. Then, I worry about customers getting hit trying to get around a delivery truck. Jennifer, the more control and consistency that I can have with delivery issues, the better.
Exactly, Michael. You know what? We also offer a simplified bid process. How much time do you currently spend placing all of your orders?
You mean calling them in?
Yeah.
Well, depending on the day, it can vary anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. Some days it can take even longer. If I'm on hold or something's out of stock, then I have to call a different vendor for backup.
Well, our simplified order process eliminates multiple calls to several vendors. And what this means is that you have one point of contact and 3 options for placing your order. You can call us, you can place it online, or you can even fax us your order. Imagine what it would be like if you had your order placed online all at once. Imagine how much time that would save you, and the less hassle is bringing on more stress.
Saving time and having less stress would obviously be great. I mean, as long as I still get my orders placed in time.
Well, I think you'll appreciate the fact that we take orders 24/7, which means that you can place orders at your convenience. Now, I see that you're smiling, so I'm guessing that you'll agree that a simplified order process would certainly eliminate hassles and make the ordering process better.
I wouldn't have to worry about busy signals, or sometimes taking all day to get all my orders in. I could do it all in one setting. Yeah, Jennifer, I like that a lot.
You know, Michael, and best of all, we have our guarantees. We guarantee delivery before 8 a.m. or you receive credit on your service. And that credit is 5% for every hour that we're late, should that occur. And we also guarantee quality of product or it's replaced at no cost to you. That covers everything from food items to equipment. And we guarantee service on the equipment that you receive through us. So how many of your current vendors actually even offer guarantees?
None of them, but you mentioned a 5% credit. 5% of what?
Well, if we're late, you receive a 5% credit on your fee for the service, and that fee varies depending on the number of vendors that you use. Seems fair, doesn't it?
Well, yes, it sounds more than fair, but I know you don't offer your service for free. So, what's the fee?
Great question, and I do have a little bit more information I need to cover, and I promise we'll get back to that. Now, everything that we've talked about so far offers a tremendous savings in time. So what I like to do right now is add up the amount of time that you'd save by using our service. Just a rough idea, okay?
Okay.
All right. So how much time did you say you currently spend on the bid process each week?
Oh, wow, it can be a full day easily.
All right, what's a full day to you?
10 hours?
Okay, so 10. All right, how much time per week do you currently spend placing orders?
Well, some days it goes pretty smoothly, but most of the time there's a glitch. You know, busy signals or problems in the kitchen or customer issues that I have to address. But I'd say at least an hour a day, including callbacks.
Okay, so I'm going to add 5 hours for ordering. Now, how much time do you spend on checking in orders and supervising your staff on inventory, especially when deliveries are late?
Oh, I guess in a week, maybe 5 hours.
Okay, 5. So what is the total number of hours that you invest in bids, in ordering and delivery issues?
20.
So instead of 20 hours, you'll be spending less than 1 hour ordering and you'll have guaranteed deliveries whenever you wish, on whatever day you wish. So how would you spend those extra hours?
Now, that's easy. I'd spend any free time on training my people and on projects like the new menu items and special events in our music venue. Training right now is pretty much a rush job. That's not fair to the new staff, and it's certainly not fair to use customers as the guinea pigs. So, any time I could save would be a definite benefit. Plus, it would keep things positive and exciting and generate more revenue. Always a good thing.
So Michael, we're prepared to offer you a simplified bid process where we do the comparisons and research for you. You get the lowest prices for the best quality without compromising the integrity of your menu items or equipment. We offer an optimum delivery schedule that's convenient and saves time and money. We also offer our simplified ordering process. Just go online and place your order there. It's that easy. And you have our guarantees. You'll save a minimum of 15 hours per week, which will allow you to focus on morale boosting and generating ideas and projects. So would you agree that Catering Effects meets your needs is a viable solution?
Well, it sure seems so.
So, how well did I do? Remember those objectives and measuring criteria we saw earlier? Why don't we let Michael answer that?
First, let's consider the objectives. Did Jennifer gain my support and commitment to her proposed solution? Yes, she did. In fact, she took advantage of every opportunity to reinforce this throughout her presentation. Did she convince me that the solution meets my needs and that the plan she's proposing is viable? Yes, but she still has a little more work to do. Now let's review the criteria for measuring effectiveness in making the presentation. Jennifer related her specific solution to my specific needs, concerns, and questions. She used an appropriate number of units of conviction as presentation material to convince me that buying from her would be in my best interest. You can use 5 or 6 like Jennifer did, or as many as 10 to 12, depending on your situation. All units of conviction Jennifer used applied specifically to me and my business. She obtained feedback from me by asking reaction questions, such as trial closes or tie downs. She also addressed my information and operational needs. She related features to benefits by using transitional phrases, and Jennifer provided clear evidence to support the benefits. Like I said, she's doing a great job, and she's got me sold. Almost.